Cheers to the weekend, everyone. Has everyone been keeping up with WandaVision? Um, so I watched the first two episodes when they premiered, and I kind of knew what to expect, having read about it and seen the trailer. So I knew what was gonna kind of happen. It was gonna have that sitcom angle to it, and it was obviously gonna go through several decades of different styles of sitcom television. So I fully expected that. But I didn't expect them to go um, so hardcore with it. In that, like, the first two episodes, especially, are almost entirely just a sitcom. That's all it really is. There's a few weird moments, but for the most part, there's really no attempt to connect it to the overall MCU story or what we usually see from the franchise. It was much different, and I enjoyed it. Just as a sitcom itself, I didn't really know what was going on, though, and I think a lot of people felt that way. But I almost kind of didn't care. I kind of just liked watching something so different from what we've gotten before, and there's just something kind of cool about watching characters that you know doing a completely different genre. I mean, it's like if you threw in some of these superhero characters into spaghetti western or something like that, just a completely different genre. It's the same characters in a way, but they're just doing different types of lines, and there's a audience laugh track, and it's very interesting. And I'm glad that they went this route because they're allowed to, they can take chances for sure, but they don't have to go this wild with it. At this point, they got the fan base pretty strong. They'll come in for everything, and I guess that's the reason to do something so crazy like this, because hey, no matter how crazy we'll get, people will watch. But it's like, it still shocks me that they went this far, to really play with people's patience. And that's the thing I think the show is testing the most so far, is the patience of everyone. The third episode didn't really help to change people's view of the first two episodes, because the third episode was also very much like a sitcom with no connections to the overall universe except for the final few minutes. Which, I mean, that's kind of what makes the show so strong, was those really eye-opening moments where it gets very strange and you're taken out of the sitcom world, and even the camera angles and everything change. They get a little more cinematic, and it's just very well put together. Very well put together TV show. But we got the fourth episode tonight. The fourth episode starts to explain things, and I'm glad they started to explain it now. I think there was a chance that maybe they would have waited till like one of the last episodes to do this, but given at this point where everyone almost had no leads about where things were headed, I'm glad they started to kind of explain things, but we still don't have a full idea of what's going on. I think a lot of what was explained was pretty easy to assume in a way. I guess we don't know what the exact logistics of it all is, but we kind of knew that, yeah, Wanda obviously made like some kind of dimensional world where the rules are following typical TV show tropes, where it's literally a television show. I don't know why. I don't know why she's doing this. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know why Vision's back. And it's funny because some of the characters who are, like Randall Park is back on the show. He was previously in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and he starts to write down on a whiteboard all these different ideas and theories that he has, like the same theories that everybody who's watching has. And they go over the last three episodes, and basically every time there's been any kind of outside world connection, it's been because of them messing with it. So super cool. Some direct connections to Endgame, which I loved, showing some of the effects of what happened in Endgame, because I feel like we only went over that in Spider-Man Far From Home. I know there hasn't been anything else since then, but I had a feeling that maybe they were just going to ignore those events of Endgame in the majority of the movies, because I guess I didn't know how much they were going to dig into the actual blip of it all. But I'm glad that they actually are starting to do that. And but they still haven't explained everything. We still don't know exactly what's going on. So there's a lot of mystery to the show. The episodes are short enough where they don't have to fill in a lot of dead air with stuff that's not too interesting, or extra characters that they try to get us to like, but maybe we don't really care to see. No, they keep it basic, but also mysterious, and honestly, making me, it's giving me more questions than a lot of other TV shows do. And I like that since there's an episode a week, there's a whole mystery to it. I think the first 3 episodes, maybe there wasn't enough clues given to everybody or enough context given to everyone to really even start developing theories. But now I think there's going to be a lot more theories developed. Unfortunately, tonight I did read some spoiler that I ended up getting confirmation about, but it's a spoiler I was very happy about. I'm not mad that I heard it. I think it would have led to a much bigger surprise, but let me just say, they got a lot of great stuff coming up. And I'm really excited to see what comes next. And I just wanted to talk about it real quick, because not too much to really say about so far. Just, it's a very well-produced TV show, but there's not like a lot to talk about as far as connections or theories or different things as far as the entire cinematic universe goes, because it's just been keeping it, it's a slow burn, but it's good. It's got enough entertaining stuff going on to keep me in. So when a couple other episodes come in, maybe I'll just talk about those and let you know my thoughts, especially if we get towards the end, because I'm getting excited.